Mother Nature like, how the fuck you doing that, Max? Trust me, I do a lot of shit like I'm doing much less. Got the mindset of DJ Khaled, I'm doing what's best. It's been body bags after body bags, so who is up next?
Well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time coming through, they call me Mr. J. I'm not gonna beat around the bush for this one. We're just gonna dive into it. Now, for a couple of days, there's been this beef going on in French-speaking Africa between two artists, man. The first artist is from Ivory Coast, or in French we say Côte d'Ivoire, and the other artist is from Cameroon, yes. And the artist from Côte d'Ivoire I'm talking about is Himra. So a brother came onto one of my vlogs on the new channel. By the way, if you don't know, this is my second channel, MisterJaay Official Reactions. And it's just the same thing, but more focused on the music part. And this brother was like, MisterJaay, please react to the Himra Kocee and Tenor beef. I want to hear your opinion as an OG. Respect to you, my brother, prosper. And I gave it a couple of hours to just let it marinate, because you guys know that I've always been talking about artists from 237. If you don't know 237, that is Cameroon. And I think that we need to talk about certain things, you feel me? So before we do get started, if you're not done it, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and turn on your notification. 237, Côte d'Ivoire, salut et bonjour. So let me not go too far. Himra is a dope artist from Ivory Coast, and this brother has a whole lot of traction going on. And if you've been putting your ears to the ground, you will understand that Himra is actually the it factor when it comes to hip hop that is brewing and growing in French-speaking Africa today. Now, there's a whole lot of them I could talk about, the DDBs, and a whole lot of factors to spare 90, all of them, you feel me? But I want us to focus on Himra today. And Himra has been known to just, my man has gone through a whole lot of battles. Now, this is not the first diss that Himra has been going at, and this man he's been holding his ground, let me say that. Now, let's talk about Kocee from Cameroon, another dope, talented artist who has revolutionized there is a genre, a folklore genre in Cameroon called Kocee. It's like typical, that is Cameroon DNA, and this man has been thriving on it. He's been doing hits in Cameroon. He's been, traveling out of Cameroon and doing shows in the Cameroonian community. Now, this brother from Ivory Coast decided to go against Kocee. Well, as a rapper, you have the right to say whatever you want to say. If something doesn't sit well with you, you definitely can speak about it. So this man spoke about Kocee, and has been making a whole lot of, people in Cameroon, sensitive people in Cameroon just go, what's happening? Why is he talking about Kocee? Blah, blah, blah. You have people that are standing for it, and you have people that are standing against it. Now, this is what I would say. You guys know that I've been going back and forth with some of our artists in Cameroon, and I want to say a quote here, and before I continue. See, when you grow up in your father's compound, in your father's house, you can make all the noise that you want to make. As long as you stay in your father's house, to you, you are the best thing that happened to the world. Now, when you step out of your father's house, and then you can still hold your ground, and then you can still make that noise, then there is a huge difference between the person who stays in their father's house and makes noise, and he that stays in his and goes out of his father's house and makes noise. If you smart, you get it. Now, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. To me, this whole thing about the beef, Himra is just doing what MCs do. There's no MC that would tell me today that, look, I will never ever diss somebody, or I've never ever said something about a situation that I don't like or I do not condone. You feel me? So Himra did that. And then there's a whole lot of people who've been going back and forth. Man, I've had a whole lot of comments that is coming out of Cameroon, which I would want to go and just take a look at it. You feel me? And one of those comment which came from a post that I made a couple of hours ago is from my big brother, man. He goes by the name Himra. Now, my brother said, they are both incomparable and simply because they do two different genres of music. Facts. Himra is into hip-hop, and Kocee is into a blend of a whole lot of things, especially the genre that comes out of Cameroon called Kocee. Let's keep reading what my man said. But here is where the confusion stems. Kocee keeps thinking he is in the rap business, whereas Kocee is not a rapper. He doesn't do rap, but he wouldn't agree. Rap is all about punchlines and messages passed through the punchlines. If we agree that this the litmus for rap, then Kocee sings more of Mbole, which is a genre in Cameroon, and revolutionized Kocee and Bikosa, just like Phil Bill, another dope creative artist from Cameroon who's been pushing that needle in that local Cameroonian genre. Let me just say this. This, my brother, said exactly what I've been saying forever. I remember a couple of years ago on my first channel, I talked about this brother not being a rapper. But you see, the Cameroonian audience, they are just used to they miscategorize their artists, and which is why in the long run, they all have been a failure. Yes, in Cameroon, in your father's house, these folks are the best thing that ever happened to the Cameroonian audience. But when you look outside the box, which by the way, I have always been looking outside the box, because I know when you are in a comfort zone, you think that you are the best thing. But then when you step out, you realize that you ain't shit, which is what a whole lot of this 237 artists, they have realized. And that is why they have tanked. Remember, I said that most of the Cameroonian artists, especially the first batch, we talk about the TZs, we talk about the Magascos, we talk about everybody that was making this whole live noise back then. I saw you that their career was on the downslope. Now, this is not a hateful thing. I was simply trying to let you guys know that Cameroon music should not be just in Cameroon. If you are popping just in Cameroon, you are a local champion. Now, let me continue reading what Mr. Nana said. He said, so if we agree on the above, then there isn't any need to compare both. Himra is a rapper, can be compared to the likes of Tenor and Jovi. Facts, I support this thing that you said. And he said, which are the two rappers I know so far from Cameroon. I have said it, and I said it on one of my little brothers' live recently, where I shared brain with another dope guy that is bringing up this group, man, Mr. Bayong. And I said this, bro. The truth is, there is only one real genre in Cameroon when it comes to hip hop, and that is the Mboko. Now, every artist in terms of rap artists in Cameroon that you know, especially from the English-speaking part of Cameroon, all of them, they just do copy and paste from who? The creator of that genre. Which is why I would say Jovi stands and remains the main artist in Cameroon that came up. He borrowed from this and hey, he brought something up. Now, don't say Mboko is the Frank Anglo language. No, Mboko rap is what Jovi created in Cameroon. And every other artist has now stepped out of the line. They have just been copying and paste, copying and paste, copy and paste. And then Tenor on his own, he's been blending that part of his culture with hip hop. Which is why my man is saying that the only two artists, the only two rappers in Cameroon is Tenor and Jovi. Now, there is another dope artist from Cameroon who weighed in. He goes by the name Malux, a dope artist who also, he does his own genre and his own lane alone. There's nobody that is into Malux's lane in Cameroon. Let's keep it 100. You feel me? We are not here to be as a tall-ish. And Malux was like, il va répondre qu'il va d'abord dire quoi sur Himra pour le cracher. He's going to reply to Himra. What is he going to say to beef Himra? To be honest though, Kocee has nothing to do, nothing to say to Himra, which is why this brother has not said anything. Now we can go into the details of why he has not clapped back, he's not said anything. But bro, on that rap level, on that creativity level in terms of hip hop, Kocee is no match for Himra. And he knows this. And another part of me will say this. I have been talking about Cameroonian artists going out there and trying to collaborate with big heavyweights. Bro, when you tap into different angles, different artists, different fan bases, bro, you blow bigger. And we've seen, I don't know how long you've been following Kocee, but this guy has been in that industry for more than 10 years. And yet, none of these brothers, I mean, the batch of this brother artists in Cameroon, none of them has amounted to nothing, period. Now, this is not a hateful thing. This is me just saying what it is. And Malox continues by saying que sa femme est stérile. Now, that is another swipe, and we remember that a couple of months ago, this Malox and Kocee had a beef back and forth, and there was a song where Malox called Kocee Cocinette. That is just making him look feminine. You feel me? And then the big boss of the hip hop industry in Cameroon, he also posted something. He said, Himra got in Kocee's ass. Can't go into details, but it's deep penetration. See, that is Kocee, that's Mboko God speaking. And he continues by saying, Kocee is the only one that looks out of place in this whole thing. It looks like it's way up his league. I pity the boy. I will say this, there is no match. I know that a whole lot of Cameroonians want to be like patriotic, support your own and beers, which that support your own mentality has made a whole lot of whack artists in Cameroon think that they are the ish. And then they are now dangling and begging for this and that online because their career is about to die. Let's keep reading what Jovi said. And Jovi went on to say, that's the same artist you were using the stats to mock me, dissing you. Now, yeah, Kocee, it's your time to do, give me the mic, yo. That's what Kocee always says. That is a hook line that works for him, but that is it. Or you only know now how for rap with Malox. Two mediocre artists. So my man just took both of them and just squeezed them in one bunch. And he said, disgracing Cameroon. Cameroonian artists and their fan base are like the most confused set of combinations you would think of. And speaking about fan bases, Himra's fan base is bigger than Kocee. Well, we're going to go break down the details and the nitty-gritty about all these differences of why I personally think that Kocee is no match for Himra. And I am a Cameroonian. And I'm not speaking of this out of hate because so many things I said back then is what is manifesting in the Cameroonian music industry. And it seems as if we need to come back and tap and remind these folks exactly of what I said. And there is a whole lot of, people who came out and just straight out just aimed at Kocee for the mess that his career has been. Even so that Kocee went online himself on a live and tried to play it cool, try to play this, but you all know that was him just accepting defeat. That was him just letting this whole thing, like Jovi said, that was him letting this man just his foot all the way up in his ass. Because I'm telling you, the earlier some of these Cameroonian audiences and music lovers in Côte start realizing that you guys have inflicted nonsense in that industry, which is why the industry is so obsolete. And then we have artists that have been really doing good and constructive things. I can mention them. But you guys never ever bring them to mainline, and you brought artists that we saw from afar. What is happening today? I saw it like 5 years ago. You feel me? I saw that age like 5 years ago, but you guys did not want to agree. And then now we're seeing what is playing out. I'm going to end here because I don't want to bore you so much with a whole lot of ish, but I'm going to drop a second part to this so that you can understand what some of the Cameroonians actually think. It's not about being patriotic. It's about keeping it a buck, keep it 100, so that some of these fools that you guys have inflated, they do not want to agree that they've never been anything. Now, if we talk about this man's mixing of Kocee, and Bole, and all that ish, yes, my man, you shine in that domain. And like Jovi said, this is way up your league. We don't know if you're going to grab your, give me the mic, y'all, and do whatever you always do. Man, hit that subscribe button. Let me know exactly what you think. Part 2 of this whole saga will continue. You did? You feel me? Stay blessed.
If you see me in the streets, better holler at me. Seeking for a beat, throw them dollars at me. I don't like defeat, take that away from me. You tryna be like me, you couldn't handle my story. But we gon' let you know, we gon' let you know. We gon' let you know, we gon' let you know.